Heck, something happened. The game didn't crash. I had to restart it because when I tried to restart the live stream and broadcast, it wouldn't even let me choose the broadcast option. I got share play, so I actually had to turn off the game and restart it. But I think I bored the people enough trying to go through Children of the Atom with my hella scrubby play.
Marvel superheroes.
So let's power up some Marvel superheroes. Hey Meek, welcome back. It's like, yeah, my live stream just died without a warning. And then I couldn't, I had to actually restart the game. So now I'm going over to Marvel superheroes. And for people who didn't know, I think you could access the hidden characters by pushing up on Wolverine, to Dr. Doom. What was the other one? I think you can use Anita. Use Thanos by pushing up on Magneto. I don't want to use Magneto. Shit. I forgot you got a timer. They had a timer on let's see. I didn't know you had a tutorial. Let's see. Why is it on auto? See, I didn't even pick my settings right. Yeah, Dr. Doom is busted. Dr. Doom just busted. But yeah, that's that old school, oops, didn't want to do a little quick save. That old school game design where boss characters just had to be busted.
Marvel superheroes.
I know one of them you could pick at Anita. What's his name? I think it's probably these are either Captain America or whatever. And she's like that little girl from Darkstalkers who would hang around Donovan. I remember like the first fighting game tournament I ever entered was for this game. And it was at the arcade. And I barely played this game at the arcade version, so it's like, even though I grew up in the arcade era, I wasn't too much of an arcade player. Yeah, Anita's invisible. I think this game is really, they finally fine-tuned the combo system to where you can actually do like really good combos in this game. And they gave Psylocke like her best super, that one, especially when doing to finish off air combos. See, now I can go in on this game. They don't block 70% of your fucking attacks like they do in X-Men Children of the Atom. Power up. Yeah, it's a lot. Yeah, it's much easier than Children of the Atom. That's why this game was a lot fun to play. When I got this game on my Sega Saturn, I believe I played this game a lot more than I did X-Men Children of the Atom. Because it was just more fun to play. Actually, I think Captain America was my second main in this game. I think I played Captain America better than I did Psylocke. That old Jim Lee illustration of Psylocke. I think I had that issue of X-Men where they got that issue, where they got that illustration of her from. I think it was X-Men number 6. Well, X-Men Volume 2, number 6. I don't think you can air juggle Juggernaut. Well, I know you couldn't in fucking Children of the Atom. I think they made him not as OP. Well, he was slow as molasses that can barely move in Children of the Atom. Oh, that fucking body slam. Oh my god. Yeah. Yeah, people didn't want to play. It just wasn't fun. It just wasn't fun. It was work. Juggernaut's beating the shit out of me though. God. God damn. I'm gonna have to cheese this fucker. Oh my god. Oh yeah, he has natural super armor. That's why he's a pain in the ass. So he doesn't get stunned when you hit him. Ah. You know what? When I first saw X-Men, what was it, Apocalypse? I was at the same time I just thought it was meh, but then when I got it on Blu-ray and watched it all the way through for the second time, I enjoyed X-Men Apocalypse a lot more. Oh my god. And that fucking jump is like the best anti-air overhead poly in this game. God damn. God damn. Yeah, he does not get stunned when you hit him. And then when they give you that super jump, he can get in whenever he wants. Yep. Oh, that didn't kill? Got him. I enjoyed all the X-Men movies because it was like I never thought I would see the day where they would make, Hollywood would make like a really good, you know, some X-Men movies. I admit, like, some of the CGI in the first movie was kind of cheesy, but if I was introducing X-Men to the normie audience, I couldn't be too mad about it, because X-Men have so many characters and so much lore that, oh my god, he got that fucking power up. Oh my god, I'm getting wrecked by Juggernaut right now. I'm gonna have to go back to playing lane. Gotta play lane with Jugs. It didn't sound right, but yeah. Yeah, they pretty much treated him like a mutant after the movies came out, especially after X-Men 3 in the comic books. He actually became a member of the X-Men, and then he became a member of Excalibur. Like, him and Jazzler had a weird type of relationship, and then he had a weird relationship with this other mutant named Bird Boy. God damn, Juggernaut? Juggernaut is whooping my ass. I haven't even, this is like the, what, second character? This is just the second character. Oh, why did I put it on normal? They had to put it on turbo. Yeah, this is the second character and he's whooping my ass. I did have trouble with him a couple of nights ago. So I wonder, I'm just got to play lane then. Cause I'm over here trying, or maybe it was the turbo. Maybe the turbo just upped his movement. But I played on turbo last time. God, that fucking jumping overhead is just beating the shit out of me right now. So yeah, Juggernaut is fun. Me, myself, I don't like using big-ass, slow-ass characters. God damn, he is hitting me out of everything. It's taking me to beat him at the wire to get rid of this guy. That shows you how shitty I am right now. My skills is like, it wasn't until when I became like a fucking, got into the FGC and high level play that I realized I was just a really, not a very good 2D fighting game player. I just didn't have the execution. It's like I can lame people out. I can play a little bit Street Fighter in certain Street Fighter games, but my skill doesn't apply to all Street Fighter games. Oh my god, stop fucking hitting me with the earthquake, bro. God damn. He has natural super armor too. He has natural armor, so he's gonna hit you out of your shit. Even when you hit him. Also, I'm not using the gems. I forgot. I don't know what buttons I use to activate the gems. So I'm kind of playing like I'm nerfed right now. Oh, he's the life stone? He got his life back? This fucker. Oh my god. It's fun. I just don't like losing right now because Juggernaut's beating the shit out of me. Yeah, you have to do certain combination of the buttons to do the, He should not be able to use a special to knock me out of my fucking psychic knife. It's a bucket bullshit. I guess the computer gave me a break because he just stood there and took those last 2 hits. The computer's like, you know what? I'm tired of whooping your ass. But that's how it was in arcade. You would have like, even on the console versions, you would have weird difficulty spikes. But it usually doesn't start until you reach the 3rd character where they would up the difficulty. That's why I like kind of like Mortal Kombat. They would tell you every character when you went up the tower, they would get harder. Yeah, it is. Oh, I was hoping to get a perfect on Wolverine. Oh my god, Wolverine's coming at me now. I don't know. I think if you gave me a month of just playing this game every day, I'll get my skills back. But I got so many games on my backlog. Because back in the day, like when I was a young adult, that's all I played majority of the time was fighting games. Yeah, the mirror matchers. That's all I played like back in my young adult days was mostly fighting games. It's like I would pick up, you know, an action game or two and a weird obscure sports game. But whenever I came home from work or hanging out with buddies or fooling around with girls, the first game I would pop in is a fighting game. And the game I would take out at the end of the day is a fighting game. That's all I played. And it's like I tell people when they ask, okay, how did you get good at fighting games? I said, I played them a lot, religiously. And you naturally get good at it. You get the muscle memory and stuff like that. So when you do start playing other people, you already learned how to cheese the computer. The only thing is how you're gonna out-cheese your human opponent. And that's why they started having high-level strategies and combos and, you know, stuff like that, because the goal when you play other people is to out-lame your opponent. Out-lame them, out-cheese them, out-combo them. But then it became about, when the FGC and high-level play came more about embarrassing your opponent, then that's where the whole combo porn of fighting games came about, because they want to look good whipping your ass. That's why American players got into playing like games where you just have, like Killer Instinct was a game that kind of made fun of it, like high combo count, the absurdity of it all. But Capcom and, you know, King of Fighters, you know, and some of the SNK, like cheesy, like horrible bad SNK games, you know, they were the ones who started introducing the combo meters and stuff like that. Is when players were like, yeah, I want to do like all these high hitting, high damaging combos. Oh my god, now he's anti-airing everything. Going back to playing lame, especially against Wolverine. Because his normals out-hit you out of everything. Oh man, they kind of nerfed her side blade in this one because it has that annoying startup so she can get hit out of it. In Children of the Atom, you couldn't hit her out of it. I forgot about that one. Dang, he got all the fucking gems. He's trying to lay me out. He's trying to use the clock. I got him. You had to wait for your mom to watch clothes and go to town to play some games before you got your SNES. Yeah, my mom, she liked going to arcades and stuff back in the day. I think that's how I ended up being a video gamer. She got me into it, playing Pac-Man and Centipede. Whenever we hit a movie theater, any place that had an arcade machine, my mom was playing the game. This is an annoying character to fight in this game. Because of his dumbass fucking movement and teleport and shit. Oh my god. Oh yeah, you told me about that. You living in the forest. Meek over here living like a Hawaiian hillbilly. Oh my god, can I block it? Yeah, I block it. Oh, there we go. I figured out how to do it now. I think it's two punch buttons. I think backwards motion punch buttons or some kind of shit. Yeah. Yeah, playing against a computer back in arcade days was like playing against like an actual person almost. That's why when you started playing actual people in tournament, it wasn't so bad. But nowadays with modern gamers, it's like you play and you think you're a badass against a computer, and then you go to a tournament, you just get waxed. So I told my cousin, it's like, I said, for you to get better at fighting games, you gotta play on the highest difficulty and figure out how to out-cheese the computer. Cause yeah, I was playing this game on level 8 difficulty back in the day. God damn, Blackheart. Yeah, once he gets his fucking range game going, he is a pain in the ass. Yeah, these games started introducing air blocking. It made it even more annoying. Got him right in the middle. Oh my god, he rolled out of it. This fucker. Oh, he got me with the air throw. Oh, kicked him right in the face. You would buy cheap fighting games. Ew, what fighting games were cheap? I had all the gems. Yeah, so it's backwards and 2 punch buttons will trigger the gems. Oh yeah. Oh, you probably bought them when they were cheap. But you know how much I played for Killer Instinct on the Super NES? $72. But I made the mistake of buying it at Atari Records in San Francisco. Oh my god, fucking Spider-Man's annoying in this game. Especially when you play him later. You got fucking anti-air, he's very aggressive. Spider-Man is the most annoying. He got me. Yep, $72. So, like, if you bought, like, Nintendo or SNES games outside of Toys R Us or KB, retailers charge whatever they wanted. Like, I remember my mom, she paid, like, $70-something for Street Fighter 2, but she bought it at Radio Shack. She bought my NES and Street Fighter 2 at a Radio Shack because I saw it on the price tag when I opened up my gift on Christmas. So I know she bought it at Radio Shack. But yeah, if you bought your games outside of fucking yeah, it's like I bought it brand new. I bought it when it came out. You probably got your stuff right after the game came out. Either that or you bought a bootleg. One of the two. Yeah, I bought it when the game first came out at Atari Records. God damn, Spider-Man. Oh, he got super armor, that's why. Yeah, so you got them years after they came out. Yeah, we didn't. I remember we ran out of like all the Warwoods here. I think ended up turning into fucking what were they called? Well, now they're called CVS, but they were called dude, what were they called back in the day? Yeah, the Warwoods got changed into one thing, and then those things turned into CVS's out here. But yeah, I remember Woolworth. Remember Jimco? Jimco was Target. Jimco turned into Target, but back in like in the 80s, they were called Jimco. Oh my god, Spider-Man's going ham right now. This is like a boss level Spider-Man. Oh my god, how do you get that throw off? And I hate it that they roll after the first two hits of your special. That is some bullshit. That is some bullshit in this game. And why did they give Spider-Man a fucking anti-air? Oh man. They gave him a projectile, they gave him an anti-air. It's like they gave him a Ryu type of moveset. They just didn't give him no spinning kicks or shit. God damn, I'm getting wrecked by Spider-Man right now. Oh my god. His movement speed is just annoying. Because if you jump in, he'll just move out the way, or he'll fucking spider sting you. And then again, if Sonic and Spider-Man were to have a fight, it'll probably go this way. Unless you start using her mutant powers and telepathy. God damn. And they even make his little spider shit almost as fast as her side shots. Yeah, so, yeah, you're getting all the cheese with these arcade ports. Yeah, this is like facing a boss right now. Spider-Man's whooping my ass. Oh, finally they let me get all the hits on him. Oh, now he's coming in. He got the super armor now. So he can't get stunned when I hit him. Oh my god. Oh, well, you saw that? He did a backwards jump in fucking mid-air to counter my anti-air attack. I was trying to anti-air him and he fucking anti-aired my anti-air. That is something a normal human player wouldn't do. Unless he's just guessing. Unless she's just pushing buttons. But no, the computer knew right when I was going to anti-air and did that shit. Look, and then air blocking to where he jumps in, he's going to block my special. They know the exact range how to punish my attacks. So yeah, this is like on basic difficulty too. Spider-Man's beating the shit out of me. It's even worse that I turned it back up to turbo. Oh my god. Yeah, he got the spider sense on lock right now. He's knowing what I'm gonna do before I even do it. Look at that. He knew I was gonna jump, try to jump off the corner. Spider sting, fail. I think I'm done with Marvel superheroes for now. On to the next game. Got wrecked. Oh man, I think that's what I want in a collection. I want the console versions. Give me the console versions, man. I want my survival modes. I want my team attacks. I want my time attack modes. With arcade, you just got arcade and versus. I want my console version so I can get my survival and all that other shit. That's what I want out of these collections. And they have no excuse not to put the console versions. But that's just another form of emulation, and you know companies want to be lazy. Alright, let's go to X-Men vs. Street Fighter.
X-Men versus Street Fighter.
I own this game, and I think this one didn't get played that much. I don't know. When I get to Marvel's Capcom 2, I'll definitely use my team. I think my team was Captain America, Morrigan, and Psylocke. I think that was my team.
X-Men versus Street Fighter.
And it was like, and if I wasn't using Psylocke, I was using Cyclops. I remember paying like $80 for the Saturn version of this game, X-Men vs. Street Fighter. I don't think Gambit had his infinite in this version, well, in X-Men vs. Street Fighter. This was his first appearance in the X-Men and the versus games. Yeah, this was his first appearance. This was like X-Men Children of Atom was the first game of the Marvel vs. series, and then Superheroes was the second. X-Men vs. Street Fighter was the third. Marvel Superheroes was the fourth, and then Marvel vs. Capcom 2. So yeah, Gambit didn't have his infinite until Marvel vs. Capcom 2. It's like this game difficulty doesn't pick up until fucking until you get to the third team. Then the game becomes work. Not fun, work. I think this was the game where I finally figured out how to use Chun-Li's 100 kick special. Oh my god, here comes that Cyclops cheese. I forgot Chun-Li's launcher in this game. God damn it, Cyclops. Oh, Jesus Christ. Chun-Li's getting wrecked. Oh, I can't believe he fell for that. Get in there, Rogue. Beat his ass. Oh, you gonna make Jean Grey jealous. Make Gambit jealous too. Rogue wins. Yeah, this game, I had Children of Atom, Marvel Superhero, this game, Marvel Superheroes, well, versus Capcom, all for the Sega Saturn. Out of all those games, this one got played the least. I don't know why. I don't know why. I think I played Marvel Superheroes more than this one. I think maybe because the roster. It's like I got this game just because I just had to have all the new fighting games back then. But once I saw Psylocke wasn't on the roster, I was like, eh. And I got it because Rogue, this is the first appearance of Rogue in a fighting game. You know, I got it mostly for Rogue. That's what made me buy this game. If Rogue wasn't in this game, I probably wouldn't have bought it. Pukin! 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 Oh, not you too? You use that cheesy ass team? Oh man, I hate you already, Meek. I hate you already, man. I hate you already, Meek. You were another one of those dudes who used the Cable Iron Man War Machine team. That was the most used team when I played against people in arcades. Yeah, Gambit in this game was annoying because his projectile was like so good. His movement was good. Yeah, you can't let Gambit get started in this game. And then you don't want to get sucked into fucking Chun-Li's balls. You just left. It's funny because I can't do her fucking 100 kick with the fucking fierce button. You can only do it like her jab and the medium kick. Oh, wrong one. I just wasted bar. Pukin! 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 Oh, she got me with. Oh, Chun-Li! Oh, she did me dirty. Chun-Li went Ultra Instinct on my ass. Oh, Chun-Li just went, oh, she built up a level 3-2, had to time her out. She went ham. Oh, I gotta face Gambit again? So any team you have with Cable, you're gonna set a high score, bro. It doesn't matter who you put on a team with Cable, you are going to get a high score. Oh my god, fucking Gambit. And this is the third team, so now the computer's gonna take the kitty gloves off and do all the air combos. Yep. Arcade, man, arcade. They'll be like, yeah, we're gonna get you your quarter's worth, and then you get to the fucking third team, and then the computer just goes ham. They're like, are you having fun? Yeah, okay. Yeah. You having fun now? Oh, hell no. Pukin! Pukin! Yeah, I got your ass. If I can get rid of Gambit, then this will be less annoying. But that's a hard thing to do. They gave Gambit too many damn tools because he has a Rekka, like Fei Long move. He has projectiles, and then he has some weird Adon from like Street Fighter Alpha 3 bullshit. Oh my god. God damn, Ken. Oh god. Poor Rogue, she just got divvied up in the face. Oh, I caught him. Oh, you fucker! Ah, the computer lit my ass up. Well, that's it for X-Men vs. Street Fighter. Like I said, I owned the game. It was the least played game out of all the Marvel series of games that I owned. That's because I just wasn't a fan of the roster. And then the gameplay for me was just tedious. As you can see, for me going through it. It was my least played game. And so I just sucked at it. I did. I'll own up to it. I never played this game a lot. Oh, why did I restart again? Meant to quit. There we go. Time on to the next game. Now this one I played more than X-Men vs. Street Fighter. I think because it had Sakura in it. And Sakura in this game was kind of OP. They also had some like secret characters like a Dark Chun-Li and some other shit. But I admit even the roster of this game was ass. But my team was Spider-Man and Sakura. Okay, manual or easy? I put it on manual. Let's go with turbo. Oh, they put Bison with Omega Red. Now this game, like Marvel Superheroes, was easier than play than X-Men vs. Street Fighter. But they, look, you have Gambit and Rogue sitting in the background. And then you can see Rose and Nash. But yeah, the computer is not as annoying as it was in, dang, I miss her Fireball. They gave her that fucking running fucking this that made her annoying. It took me a while to adjust. Because Sakura was like my second main in Street Fighter Alpha 3. So you can't play that Sakura the same as this Sakura. Oh, man, I had to look on my YouTube channel to see your other comments. Yeah, the triple team combo was instant death. And you don't know Jean Grey? Well, Jean Grey, she was like, in like the original X-Men team, they were all like high schoolers and she was the only girl. So they were all teenage boys and they only had one chick in the mansion, which was Jean Grey. So Cyclops was competing with Angel, Iceman, and Beast for Jean Grey's attention. That was like my basic bitch, like Spider-Man combo. Dang, I forgot how to do his was it Maximum Spider? There it is, I did. And I got hit right out of it because of fucking Omega Red's bullshit. This team is coming back on me. The funny thing with Spider-Man, you can just button mash with him in this game. Oh, I forgot that's what it was. Oh, the Japanese version, yeah, you can use the weird guy with glasses. Oh, Dan and Sakura, that is probably... I don't know, that team does make sense. Dan and Sakura. They're like the Shoto rejects. Oh yeah, that's that fireball you're talking about. I don't know what button to use it though. Is it a kick? Oh, it's a kick. I think it's a kick. Oh, it's a backwards motion in punch. That's what it is, that's why. I wish that move how it was in fucking Street Fighter Alpha, where it was like a forward special. God damn. Wow, she knew I was gonna jump. Yes, as you can see, I'm getting wrecked by the computer. Dan is whooping my ass right now. Did I get him? Cool thing about Maximus spiders, they can get you in the air. Look at that little fireball he poops out. Dang, what is her regular special? Did I get him? Ah, oh, he blocked it. That fucker. Did I get him? Got him. Did I get her? Yeah, got her crouching. There we go. Got rid of them pesky ass Shotos. I think the best Dan ever was in Street Fighter 5. When they released them on Street Fighter 5. That was like the best version of Dan ever. Why they always pair Ryu with Cyclops? Like, if you're already a seasoned fighting game player, you can beat anybody with anyone. But I remember there was this one, I think, I forgot what player actually brought Dan in Street Fighter 5 tournament. I think it was another Japanese player who got to the top 8 with Dan, which is an accomplishment on its own. There it is. That's the special I wanted. Oh, he just punched the shit out of her. Sub out, Sakura, sub out. Oh, he just went up and snatched you, Spider-Man. Oh, so you trying to run away, Ryu? Yeah, this is like the games when they first became anime. Cause you know, you ever played anime fighting games? This is what they used as a template. The X-Men versus games, the Marvel versus games were the template for anime fighting games. You know, outrageous, crazy combos, high damaging, busted combos. You had dashes, air dashes. Ryu's blocking everything, boy. Oh my god, he blocked that whole combo. And he just anti-aired the shit out of me. There, finally got a punish. Oh, you fucker! He just grabbed her like a redheaded stepchild. Oh, I jumped right into that! Oh! Yeah, it's been a while since I played these games. It's like my anticipation is just off. Because like I said, I played these games so much that I knew all the computer's tendencies. Even though I have these games on my modified Xbox, I didn't really play them. Like I said, I finally recognized that I'm not a 2D player. Ryu is just a pro tag. That's what he is. He's the ultimate, like, character Japanese archetype for fighting games. That's what he is. So, let's see. On to the next game. What's up, Ring Fit Gaming? welcome to the stream. Now we're gonna, this is a game I never really played. I never owned this game. I never really played it. You played this, which one? Marvel, the first Marvel vs. Capcom? I never touched it. I think once I found out, I was like, I think I got baited. I never bought this game because I remember I saw previews of it and I saw Psylocke, right? Because you know me, I'm the die-hard Psylocke fanboy. But she's only in here as an assist character. A non-playable assist character. So I didn't buy it on principle. Hey, thanks for showing love. Hey, it's alright to be toxic because I told people once I started this live stream, I was going to be complete ass playing like majority of these games because haven't really played them in like a while. So yeah, it's like Psylocke is a game, but she's like an assist. And that automatically made me like, fuck this game. It's like, I remember that I started playing it, I had like this little Chinese emulation handheld. So I started playing it. So I'm like, I can see why people like this game. It's fun to play. It's fun to play. I think I enjoy this game probably better than Marvel, well, X-Men vs. Street Fighter and Marvel vs. Superheroes. Well, Capcom vs. Marvel Superheroes. Because it's like, it just fine-tuned that kind of formula of gameplay. But it feels so good playing this game using the PlayStation controller because when it comes to specials, I'm not missing hitting the, you know, the D-pad points to execute specials. I think Morgan or Felicia were like my mains in fucking Darkstalkers. What crazy was when I got Marvel vs. Capcom 3, I love playing Chien Ko, the ghost chick from Darkstalkers. Mainly because people weren't using her, and I had some mean kind of tech when I used her. It wasn't until like people figured out all the fucking busted shit you can do in Marvel vs. Capcom 3 that I stopped playing it because I was just getting beasted on. But man, that first month of playing Marvel vs. Capcom 3 was so much fun online. Until the pros got a hold of it. Then it was like, fuck this game. I used Morgan and Jin. Oh, there it is. That's the move. Oh, fucking Venom. Everybody, like, when this game dropped, when Venom debuted, that's all people used in this game. You saw so much Venom and War Machine. It wasn't even funny when this game dropped. And the crazy thing was, I remember I got into a YouTube debate with somebody when they were talking about, you know, with Street Fighter 6 and Tekken 8 and Mortal Kombat 1 coming out around the same time. They're like, oh my god, it's like the golden age of fighting games. I'm like, motherfucker, we already had a golden age. That was back in the 90s because, like I said, Capcom was releasing like 2 or 3 games a year in the 90s. That's how we got Darkstalkers. That's how we had the Marvel vs. games. Was in the 90s. Gotcha, bitch. Oh, he blocked it? This Chad. Dang, he's blocking everything. Ah, then I hit him with a Pukin. Pukin! Yeah, everybody was a Venom fan in the 90s. Just about. Venom made a comeback during COVID, as far as the comic books.
Ready. Fight.
Yeah, there was a lot of games that stayed in Japan, but That was if you. That's if you didn't have a. That's if you didn't have a Saturn though. I had a Saturn, and so once you got your freaking your import card, shoot, and I had access to an import shop. Shoot, I had all those Japanese fighting games. I had them. I had probably 80% of the fighting games. Even to this day, I own over 100 fighting games on various consoles. And it's like, yeah, I had so many fighting games on the Sega Saturn that never got released here. And then it's like, in many of these fighting games, people are now are just now figuring out existed. Because I know Justin Wong, he's been playing, you know, since you can get emulators and stuff, that people are just now discovering a lot of games that I knew about back in the, oh, not that move. Back in the 90s. I think that's the one thing that annoyed me as far as like talking with younger like fighting game fans. It's like I'm a fountain of knowledge when it comes to fighting games, but a lot of them never heard of or played a lot of the shit that I talk about. So they think I'm just talking out of my ass the majority of the time until they watch a Justin Wong video and then he's playing the game that I talked about. Because everybody think a lot of fighting games mechanics started with Capcom and SNK. Yeah, quite a few fighting game mechanics were introduced by Capcom, but there was a lot of side fighting games you never heard of that had those mechanics before Capcom and SNK adopted them.
Ready. Fight.
Yeah, now the computer took the kitty gloves off. Now you're getting all the cheese. Hawaiian Brian's, and they had games I haven't heard of before. Yeah, you're gonna find those hole in the wall. I remember in the Bay Area at the Great Mall, they had back in the day called a place called, they had an arcade there, and that's how I got introduced to do some kind of shooters and a few fighting games. Oh shit, she got me. I think I'm dead. Yeah, I'm dead. Yeah, Rival Schools was like an arcade staple in San Jose when I lived in San Jose back in the 90s. And it was funny, it was like, you didn't hear, it's like, when a new fighting game hit the arcade, you heard about it secondhand, you heard it from somebody. So it's like, when a new fighting game hit, you heard about it through word of mouth. God damn, Hulk. See what happens when you play fighting games nowadays? You lose your fighting game skill. You lose to basic bitch shit that you should know how to. You should be getting cornered. No, some places had the arcade cabinet. Here in California, you forget, I live in California. California is like Japan Part 2, especially back in the 90s. We had a lot of anime. We had anime shops back then before anime blew up. We had so much shit here in California in the 90s. I guess I was just where, like I said, a lot of things blew up here that a lot of people didn't know about. Most people didn't have access to import shops or arcades. But yeah, we had Rival Schools here. It was like, and plus, since Capcom is in, what was it, Burbank, California, Capcom USA, they used California arcades as to demo their arcade machines. So we had Street Fighter 3 here before anybody else had it. Most people didn't know that. I would say, I don't think they gave the characters English voices until the console version. I think all the arcades had Japanese voices for Rival Schools. I know here. We were like a demo ground for a lot of stuff. It was the first time. It was like a lot of people didn't know the first Dead or Alive game had an arcade release. It was like when Dead or Alive came out, the first Dead or Alive arcades were kind of dying. But nah, we had a few arcades here in California who had it, and people thought I was talking out of my ass when I said, yeah, there was an arcade release for the first Dead or Alive game, but there was. I've seen it. I played on it. And not many people knew that there was a Soul Calibur 2 arcade release outside of Japan, but we here had it in California as well. It's like, because we have Capcom headquarters is here in California, we're an American headquarters. So they used us as a testing ground for arcade cabinets here in America. So yeah, that's how I knew of Rival Schools was the arcade version. People were like, have you played Rival Schools? And then people were, just like you, people thought people were lying. It's like people read about it in magazines that was only in Japan. And then, but no, there was an arcade that had it. It was only at the arcade for like maybe like a few months before they took it out. But that was just a testing. It was a test cabinet just to get data. Well, here it was called Rival Schools. It was called Rival Schools. Nobody called it Private Justice Academy here. It was called Rival Schools. It was called Rival Schools. It's like, trust me, Beak, I am not talking out of my ass. When it's like, because I remember nobody would have bought it or cared about it here in California if we didn't know about it. We knew about it because we had an arcade cabinet of it. Especially like the people who are in the fighting games in my area, which was a lot. Like I said, we were some fighting game buying fools here in California. It's like, because I lived in the Bay Area. I can't speak for LA. I can't speak for the Sacramento area. But as far as the Bay Area, yeah, we had our shit on lockdown. Even though I know, like, Southern California, they have a lot of good, you know, talented fighting game players. But as far as just the knowledge of people playing fighting games in the Bay Area, we had it on lockdown, man. Everybody was playing fighting games. It was either fighting games, or if you had an N64, you were playing GoldenEye. That's how it was. It's like, too bad we didn't have no camera phones back then. But yeah, I do remember Rival Schools. And plus the import shop that I went to, which was located in Milpitas, which was like maybe like a 40-minute walk from my house, because I lived on the boundary of San Jose and Milpitas. It was like, yeah, that was where I got my import games. Like I was paying between $70 to $80 a pop for my games for my Sega Saturn. And then I remember playing Marvel's Capcom 2 for the first time at the arcade. But the first time I played it on console was at that import store, because they had the Japanese version for the Sega Dreamcast. They were charging you, how much dollars? They were charging you like $100 for this game. For the import version of Marvel's Capcom 2 for the Dreamcast. They were also the same store that was charging you $999 for the PS2 and 3 games when it came out. Well, before it came out in the States. Because they got them early. It's like for the PS2 and 3 games, what was it? I think Ridge Racer and Tekken Tag 2, and I forgot the last game. It was $999. And fuckers were paying that shit too. I will say about Rival Schools, when I got it on console and the Saturn, it's like I had the Japanese version. I didn't get I don't think I ever bought the American version of Rival Schools for the PlayStation 1. No, I didn't get it for Saturn, I got it for the PlayStation 1, that's right. I got it for the PlayStation 1, but I never bought the American version of it. Yeah, the PlayStation 1 version, the Japanese had like an extra disc. And it had it where you can create your own character, and you'll go through like a weird dating sim RPG, and you had to build up your character. You can learn from different teachers to get their special moves and shit. And then when they released the American version, they had it to where you couldn't create a character, but they had like created characters on the disc that you could use. Yeah, I had JoJo Bizarre Adventure on. I had the JoJo game on the PS1. Now the PS1 version was ass, but the Dreamcast version was pretty good. Yeah, you're about to see a very shitty way to play this game. I was talking to my buddy on the way here before I started my live stream that I never played this game out of the above filthy casual level. So it's like I never understood how to use my assists, how to do a lot of complicated air combos. That's not the way I played this game. Because like I said, it's like I played this game mostly on console. I didn't play it at the arcades. I didn't play it competitively. I just played it for just fun, just to pass time. It wasn't until a little bit later while I was playing people around here in Stockton. You know, you had a lot of kids playing this game when it started to blow up in the early 2000s. And that's where I learned some stuff, how to play this game, how you're supposed to play this game. But I remember the first time I played a tournament with some kids, I just got waxed. Yep, War Machine. That War Machine, Iron Man, Cable Cheese. And then you had to deal with Doom, Cable, and whoever else Cheese. And then you had Magneto, Storm, Psylocke, Cheese. So you had to deal with all that bullshit when you were playing competitively in this game. It was like, it was just, this game, I don't know if you ever watched my video on Street Fighter 6 where I was talking about did high level play destroy the fun of playing fighting games. I don't know if you saw that live stream, but you definitely should find it. You definitely should watch it. But, who you talk about? Oh, the guy with the sword? Actually, early in this game's life, he was a very popular choice in this game. He was used a lot. The guy you're talking about from, not Plasma Sword, what, Cyberbots? No, he was from Plasma Sword. Yeah. Yeah, Hayato. He was very popular in the early, parts when this game was being played. He was on a lot of teams. It's like people were ignoring. It's funny because some characters, like, I know Captain Commando was considered useless, but then people figured out he's a very good assist character. So you'll see Captain Commando being used a lot. I remember when Spiral was considered useless, but then there's been like a pretty good team that uses her. Psylocke was considered useless until they figured out she has a really good assist. So it's like, throughout this game's life, people have been figuring out a lot of strategies and way to use characters. Because I would have to say, when the high-level pros got a hold of it, there was only like maybe 10 or 13 characters in this game that was viable for high-level competitive play. And everybody was trash. But then, after more years, people figured out, it's like, oh no, we figured out some shit. That even though this character may not be good as a main, they can either be used to build up your meter a lot faster, they can be a battery, or they have a really good assist to extend combos and all kinds of shit. I've seen Justin Wong use that team of Dan Roll and Servbot and beat people, but that's Justin Wong. He can beat anybody or anybody. He goes by the Wozler Online. If you see the Wozler Online playing this game, avoid him at all costs. He will make you get a refund if you play him online. He's that good. Justin Wong, I think, also won... I think he won an EVO championship for Marvel vs. Capcom 3. Dang, I did that head around me. I wasn't even trying to do that. I was trying to... Oh, so that button does... Okay, so the left trigger automatically does super specials. Okay, now I know that now. I thought I was going to whip up my other assist, but... There we go. You're about to see the most scrubbiest play, people. The scrubbiest of scrub Marvel vs. Capcom 2 players. Yeah, I was watching your stream that day when you were playing this game, when you picked it up. Dang, I wasn't trying to do that. I guess every direction does a super special. Good work, soldier. Yeah, this game is buttery smooth. They kept all the animations intact, which is really good. This is a really good port of these games. I'm not gonna lie, really good ports. Yeah, his damage is ass. Giant eyeball of death. There we go. Had to charge and stars him to death. Good work, soldier. I think Captain America, when I first started playing this game, he was the only one that I could do like decent air combos with. I annoyed people with this guy. I annoyed people with this guy so bad. I remember I made this one dude want to kick my ass. we were just playing basic casual sets at a comic book store, and I guess he just thought he was the shit or whatever. And it's like I was just beating his ass. Yeah, he's a good juggler. Yeah, Final Justice, I was just whooping his ass. He was like, you ain't got no air combos or nothing. It's like you're a total scrub. Why are you beating me? I was like, you probably just suck, bro. He wanted to beat my ass. He was like, how am I losing to such a scrub? I was like, you don't block. Why aren't you blocking? I said, you over here trying to do like 20, 30 fucking combos. 20 hit combos. And I'm beating you with 4 hitting combos. It's like, what the fuck, dude? I said, you don't block. You're too busy jumping at me like an idiot. It's like, bro. People were like, yeah, how did you beat him? I said, I've been playing fighting games for probably over a decade now, so it was like playing them on the highest difficulty, so I just had the muscle memory to block when you come at me like a dumbass. Plus, I play hella lame. I play lame. I block a lot, I turtle so much. You played against me, Meek, you know how I play. Even though you beat my ass in Mortal Kombat. You beat the shit out of me in Mortal Kombat. Then again, I didn't know what I was doing. I barely touched Mortal Kombat 11. I just keep it because I love the roster. But yeah, we played Mortal Kombat that day. You beat the shit out of me. I was heading my business on King of Fighters. But Mortal Kombat, you beat the shit out of me, man. Dang, Iceman's going ham. There you go, charging stars, motherfucker. Yo, Street Fighter 2 at a cookie shop. Damn, where did I first play Street Fighter 2? Trying to think. All I remember, I think I played it the most, there was this Mexican restaurant. And they had Ninja Gaiden, the beat 'em up game. Not the NES game, but the beat 'em up game, Ninja Gaiden. And Street Fighter 2. That's where I played the arcade version of Street Fighter 2. Damn it, Guile, the Turtle King. You are not gonna out-turtle Guile. Ah, I missed. I set it up and missed. Like I said, I think I was the only dude back at those days at the comic store that had a good Captain America. The rest of my team was kind of meh, but my Captain America was just annoyed the shit out of people. Oh, I fell right in that. Eat that shit, Guile. We're gonna have to run those Mortal Kombat sets back. I'm gonna spend a week trying to get better at that game. Cause you made me hella salty when you whooped my ass. My competitive pride as a fighting game player got tested when you beat my ass in Mortal Kombat. But I'll be the first to admit I am not a Mortal Kombat player. I like some of the games of the series, not all of them. I love 2, I love 9, I like 11. And I like MK Armageddon. I know MK Armageddon got shit on a lot, but I just like it because it's just total fan service in that game. Oh, we got X-Men. We got Rogue, Wolverine, and Colossus on the squad. Dude, you gonna get that collection? They're gonna release a Capcom vs SNK collection that's gonna have Plasma Sword and Rival Schools on it. That's the next collection coming out. That's the next collection coming out. It's gonna have both Rival Schools. It's going to have Plasma Sword. It's going to have Rival Schools. And I think it's one other game. There's one other game, I forgot what it was. Did I get her? Oh, she blocked all that shit. Yeah, so that game is going to be out next year. I know they announced it maybe about a month and a half ago or 2 months ago. Yeah, definitely save up for that one. This is the only time the game is fun for me when I play it against a computer. I play against other people, I just get salty. It gets salty. God damn, Rogue. It was funny, when I first started to play this game, I tried to make Mo my main, but you gotta know really what you're doing to use Rogue. And as you can see, half the time I don't know what I'm doing. Oh my god, not fucking Colossus. I gotta deal with Colossus and Wolverine's ass. Ah, I was hoping he was gonna jump in. But life doesn't. Oh, he just killed her! He just eviscerated Psylocke. It's not the first time. Because I remember whenever Psylocke and Wolverine, when she first turned into Asian Psylocke, she had a fight against Wolverine. Not many people believe it, but Psylocke was actually a British white chick when she first debuted. God, this team is coming at me hard, boy. Wolverine is just getting in. Ah, I missed. Yeah, that Colossus is shit. That Colossus assist. Oh, he just fucking... That Colossus assist is putting in work, though. Let's see if I can lame this team out. Can I lame them out? Get out of here, Colossus. Stop with that bullshit. There we go. Got rid of Wolverine. Now I just gotta deal with Colossus. Oh, he got super armored. He's pissed. Can't air combo when he's super armored. Oh my god, he's still super armored. Fuck you, Colossus. Oh, Jesus. Oh yeah, you could do that with Rogue. I forgot all about that shit. This soundtrack, I remember when this game first came out, people were like, what the fuck is up with this soundtrack? Because especially after you coming from like Street Fighter 3, where it was like hip-hoppy and stuff like that, and then hip-hop was blowing up at the time. And then Marvel vs. Capcom 2 with this weird jazzy kind of soundtrack, people were like, what the fuck? But then when they started playing it, they were like, oh yeah, this game's fun. Oh, they got roll out there. I hate the fact you can roll out of fucking her fucking special. Soul Fist. Soul Fist. She over here hit me with flowers and shit, man. Oh my god, not the repulsor blast. Get wrecked! Happy birthday! No, didn't kill. See, I can do some... Oh shit! Oh, I hit him out of it. Thank god. I'm about to get lit. I'm actually whooping this team's ass right now. Oh yeah, I was watching a YouTube video about that today. How I think he was busted, what, in the first Street Fighter 3? And then they nerfed him in Third Strike. I'm gonna be mad if I get my ass beat by Roll. Oh, they got Sansan too. Actually, I was pretty good with Sansan back in the day. You know what, the people with Sansan the shit out of the people. Yep. Did I get her? Yep, got her. Yeah, since she's small, a lot of high attacks are not going to hit her. There we go, Captain America just hit her in the face. Uh-oh, I'm getting warmed up. I'm doing shit I wasn't doing before. Yeah, it takes a good hour or so before you get warmed up playing these games. But the controls are spot on. I like how the controls are hella tight, though. I haven't had tight control playing this game since... ever? Like I said, I have this game on the Dreamcast. I have this game on the original Xbox. Yes, this game came out on the original Xbox. It was going to have online play, but they took it out at the right before release. And I also have this game for the PS2. Why do I got 3 versions of the game, you might ask? I'm just weird. It's like, I don't know, I just wanted all 3 versions. I would have to say the best, crispier looking version is the Dreamcast version. The worst version is the PS2 version because it actually has, I don't know if it was some animations were missing or something. And the Xbox version is pretty good. It's just a controller. It's just, you're not going to get that really good pinpoint control using that Xbox D-pad playing this game. You can play it. It's playable, but he said it deserves it. That, and it's good to have all 3 versions because all 3 of those versions are all complete and in great condition. All 3 of them are worth almost $400 combined. I don't know, I remember the PS2 version was going for like $200 at one point on eBay. Tooted. Alright, Cap, your turn. I had to hit Mero in the face with the shield. Hit Chun-Li in the face. Damn it. I don't got my shield no more. But I got the charges. Oh, that didn't kill? What kind of bullshit is that? Oh, I didn't get it with one of this. Damn it, Omega Red. There was this one dude when I was at the comic store who had a really good, he had a team of Omega Red, Juggernaut, and Colossus. Nobody beat him at the comic store. That team, he was just really good at this game. But that team was annoying. And then, if he really wanted to annoy you, he would sub out Colossus for fucking Zangief. And beat your ass with Zangief. I didn't think Zangief was even playable in this game. But no, there was like, outside of him, there was this other high-level player who plays this game, who uses a team with Zangief. And it's like, if you play the game long enough and master a character, you can make them viable. Now, will they be good enough to beat like the busted teams? No. Especially if the player you're going up against is really good. There we go, that's what I wanted. I want a Morgan. God damn it. Gotcha, bitch. Oh, that didn't kill. Stop moving. Stop moving. There we go. Got him in the face. Now, Mero early in this game's life, a lot of people were using her. I think the problem with Mero, people figured out she just had no damage. She had very cool combos and cool setups, but she didn't do no damage. I've seen quite a few like Cable, Dr. Doom, Mero teams in the early days of this game. Yep, he survived eternal slumber. Can you believe that shit? But that's Omega Red. Yeah, this was one of the reasons why I would use Cyclops against this fucker. Yeah, Cienko, she was like one of my main characters in Marvel's Capcom versus Marvel's Capcom 3. I love you and Cienko. She made me come off like I knew what the fuck I was doing in that game when I really didn't. I would play online. People really like it. What? Cienko? Who uses this character? Me? And beat their ass with her. She has some pretty mean like combos in the corner. Well, the ones I use, the combos I use in the corner. Like I said, that was an early fucking Marvel's Capcom Street Fighter 3. Like with the new stuff, nah, I'll just get waxed. Okay, why did I do that shit? That was dumb. I hate this fucker. He would just cheese damage you to death. Basically, you want to save up 3 bars just so you can do this. Just to get rid of this fucker. And then he'll start throwing this bubble shit. And then they'll do it again. And then he'll do that. And then you just... oh shit. Yeah, just save up meter just to nuke his ass. Yeah, the 90s video game anime was awesome. Yeah, the cartoon series in America here sucked for Darkstalkers. You wanted to watch the anime of Darkstalkers back in the day. I need to find it. Actually, nowadays, I think YouTube sellers are now charging you a fortune for like fucking anime now, especially if you get on Blu-ray. You can find some good deals for DVDs. But as far as Blu-ray, oh, you paying a grip for Blu-ray. Oh, I totally wasted meter on that. Didn't block the right side. Oh, I'm saying I gotta save her for later. There we go. Bring in Cap. This is what I do. I just build up meter, just jump kicking, avoiding damage, get to like 4 or 5 super bars. Yeah, like I said, I play this game basic bitch, like filthy casual. It's like I know you can do all this fancy shit. I never did it. I never tried to do it. That's why I kept losing at this game against other people. I'm filthy casual. It's like I'm not beginner casual. I'm just filthy. You don't know how to play this game. You don't really know what you're doing, right? It's like, no. But yet I still kind of beat you because I just have basic fighting game knowledge how to play fighting games. Even though I can't barely do air combos or all that other shit, I'll still find a way to beat you because, like I said, most people don't like to block when they play this game. Ah, that's not who I wanted, and I got her killed. This is she gonna die. Oh, well, now I'm fucked. Can Captain America be the hero? Can't he do it? Can Cap do it? Can Cap do it? Oh, that sucker teleported. You got this, Cap. You got this. Be the hero. Where is this fucker? Oh, he's way in the corner. He's off screen. That bitch. Oh, that didn't kill? That didn't. This'll kill. Captain America saves the world. That's what superheroes do. You said your dad was so pissed when he first saw this boss. He was like, "Oh, looks like it's over for you."
Thanks for playing Marvel vs. Capcom 2. Your name will be inscribed in the pages of fighting history.
Another thing about playing the console version of this game that made it fun, will give you incentive to play it a lot, was just so you can unlock the characters. That was another thing that made this game unique, because even at the arcade, you still had to unlock all the characters. And then I think it was, I don't know, you could set a timer where on the arcade version, on the arcade machine, where it had like a timer lock where a new character will be unlocked like every week or every month or something like that. Yep, that Cable Iron Man Watchman super combo, yep. It just melt life bars. But yeah, one of my fondest memories was just unlocking all the characters and colors in the home version of these games. That's why I said they need to re-release the console ports. I know all the fucking arcade FGC heads, they want the arcade versions or whatever. But for me, filthy casual console player, I love the fact you had survival mode, you had time attacks. It gave you incentive to play the game, you know, just to unlock everything, to illustrations, the colors. So you don't have all the colors in this game, in this version of the game. I want my hot pink Psylocke. Or her freaking, like, her light blue outfit, you know, and stuff like that. You got that only in the console versions where you have and things like that. That's why I wish they would release console versions of the game. But then again, if they did, it would kind of lower the value of the console versions. Oh, I can't put in my name for the high score. Thank you for playing. Presented by Capcom. Oh, there we go. Now I'm going to play a little bit of the Punisher. I don't think I ever played the Punisher, even though I have like so many emulated. I have an emulated version on my modified Xbox and on my little handheld. No, actually I did play it once. Just to see what it was like. Dude, that is a shitty ass score. If you're not in like the fucking all the way up to your name digits, you're doing something wrong when playing this game. It was funny because when you played the console version, you got the most points every time you beat the high score. So that gave you incentive to always have the highest score. You had to get the highest score to get the most points to unlock, you know, points to get characters and shit. Thanks for the congrats. Now let's play a beat 'em up. You know what? Me and you gonna have to play this game one day, Meek. We're gonna have to get some co-op. I'm not gonna lie, this is a good looking beat 'em up though. Yeah, I played this game on my little handheld, my little Chinese handheld with a bunch of emulated games on it. Are you usually free Monday and Tuesdays? Alright, cool. Oh, finally got a gun. Man, these were the days. It was like you couldn't go to an arcade without playing a beat 'em up. Like I told my buddy today when we went out for ramen, it was like games was like 80s and 90s, we just had violence and titties in most of our forms of entertainment. Violence and titties. And it was like, here's a perfect example. There's just lots of violence. I'm sure we're going to see a busty, sexy boss female character in this game at some point with a whip. So it's like, that's what it was. Violence and titties in games during the 80s and 90s. I know, right? Bonquisha, the angry dwarf, the most busted OP dwarf ever. Oh, we got pimps. Pimps with pistols. Get him, Scully. Yeah, gotta call him Scully. They used to call me Crazy Joe. Now they call me Batman. What movie did I get that quote from? Actually, I heard this game had a pretty like extensive like move list. Oh yeah, he had the bombs. I forgot. I think he had like some kind of like super grab or some shit, but I didn't know how to do it. Oh, you beat the story today? Dang, I should have stayed on that live stream because I know you were like at the end when I left. Oh, you just got murked, Punisher. Oh, there we go. Get that grab. Ow. Dude, I had like 9 people up in this live stream. And then once I stopped playing on MVC2, then it went down to 3. That's the power of Marvel vs. Capcom 2, people. I think the most hate when I was in a oh, there you go, you got it. Yep, lean on me. Yep. Meek, you old. You and me are old, bro. Morgan Freeman. Yep, Morgan Freeman. Dang, wasn't it that Jim Carrey movie where he played God? Morgan Freeman played God in that Jim Carrey movie? I used to watch that movie with your grandpa. Dude, I think I've seen Lean on Me probably like 5 or 6 times in my life. I remember when we had HBO back in the day, it was like on HBO like every day. I remember I went to go see it in the movies twice. Saw it when it first came out, and then I went to go visit like a family member in Oakland, and we went to like a $5 movie theater and saw it at that theater for $5. These are some good pixel art though. This is really good pixel graphics. Yeah, Bruce Almighty, yeah. Trying to bust out the gas. Wouldn't be a Punisher game unless you got some guns. You were mad at the lady from Carmen San Diego. Why is that? There we go. Look. Look at that. You had fucking female with the jiggly bosoms come out the thing. There's another one. Told you, titties and violence. There's a picture of the Kingpin on the wall. You're like a Ninja Turtle without a mask. Why is this punk carrying... Oh, it's a flamethrower. That was an oxygen tank. This game is actually pretty good. I'm gonna lie. Oh, he would actually have a run attack. The mechanics in this game is like Streets of Rage level. And then again, Capcom, they did have quite a bit good beat 'em ups. A lot of people feel that Final Fight was one of the definitive beat 'em ups of its era. Time for justice. Look, the Bruno. And it's a fucking mech. They're programmed by that Kingpin to terminate you. You get this work, Godaroid. And then he knocks me out. What? What are you talking about it? Lean on me? Yeah. Oh, you dropped a pipe? There's a pizza and a pipe. Give me that pipe. I keep picking up. What the fuck is that shit? Actually, I got this other beat 'em up. It's called what? Ninja Warriors or something. I remember I bought that for the PS4 thinking it's going to be a rare game in the future, sort of like a remaster of this ninja beat 'em up. That was pretty good too. I want to play that multiplayer because single player, that game is hard. And plus I want to unlock this big titty ninja female character. And when I say big boobs, her boobs are huge. Oh, dang. But people say that's where she hides her retractable robotic arms. I can see that, but yeah, but that character's pretty cool. God, this sucker's whooping my ass. How do I do the grenades? What button do I do to throw the grenades? Oh wow, he just hit me from the back. Yeah, you're kind of fighting in the city. It's a side scroller beat 'em up, but it's like heavy side scroller. You know, you can't go up and down in the background. It's like probably the most fucking linear, like in terms of direction you can move side scroller I ever played. But it's pretty good game though. How do you throw grenades? That's what I want to know. So I'm getting wrecked right now. How do I throw grenades? Somebody tell me, please, in the chat. I got 5 fucking grenades, and I don't know how to use them. Oh. Oh man, you ain't playing Michael Jackson's Moonwalker unless you're playing the arcade version or the Genesis version. How do I use the bombs? Kingpin, I knew he was behind all this. Yeah, the Nintendo version of Moonwalker was so shitty. It's like the arcade version or the Genesis version. Dang, I just murked the guy right when he got out of the car. So we got jump kicking, 7 foot, 300-pound dudes. You are a very agile man, my friend. Jump and press triangle to use grenades. Alright, let's try it. Oh, thank you! If only I knew that during that boss battle. Now I know, and knowing is half the battle. Yo, Joe. Oh, he just jumped right into my hands. Okay, I'm just busting caps, and then I'm getting capped at the same time. Ugh. Damn, what kind of Kevlar y'all fuckers wearing? They come in here with bats. Oh, that was funny. I threw a grenade and he just ducked for cover. That was hella cool. Oh, you had to load your game to test it? Okay. Oh, here we go. We got the scantily clad, sexy chicks, eating lead motherfuckers. And they throwing everything in their kitchen sink at Punisher right now. Oh my god, the length of that punch. Oh my god, he's still moving. Damn. Got diamond rings and shit. There we go. I don't know. If I had to choose which beat 'em up to put in this game, well, they had to because this is a Marvel character, so it makes sense. But if they ever do a beat 'em up collection, which I hope they do, I hope they put one that has Cadillacs and dinosaurs, Alien versus Predator. Which I don't know if they'll. Well, they could get away with it because Marvel owns the license for Aliens and Predator now. They own the license for both Aliens and Predator, so they could do it. You know, Marvel allowed them to make to put these games out again. Alright, jump kick. Now I got a bat. Die in your own blood, baby. Oh, it's Bone Breaker. He was actually, I don't know, was he originally a Punisher villain? I know he was in the X-Men comics during the fucking, what was that era? The Outback team. When the X-Men died after Fall of the Mutants, supposedly. And they decided to relocate to Australia. They were like invisible to like sensors and cameras and shit. And so they went down to Australia because the world thought they were dead. And then that's when they encountered Bone Breaker, the other fucking Reavers. When I was a kid, I hated that era of the X-Men because it was so fucking dark. But as I got older, it was like reading the comics now, I enjoyed it, especially since comics are ass right now if you read comics now. But you had that team of Longshot, Storm, Dazzler, Rogue, Colossus, Wolverine, and Havoc. Oh, you have the AVP arcade game? Yeah, I got an emulation of it. This fucker still ain't dead. They give these guys some long ass life bars. I'm getting wrecked. And I'm all out of grenades. I need that machine gun. That's what I need. Oh, I threw him right into his fucking tire tracks. Oh. Gotta use CPR on Punisher, get him back up and kicking. Man, these life bars are no joke. Oh my god, not these fucking bots again. Let's spam them grenades, boy. You only gave me one bomb. Oh, is this a mini game or some shit? Alright, shoot the barrels. So like Street Fighter where you gotta kick the shit. Now look at them skills, man. Look at them skills. Yeah. You know what game that I want? Well, I probably have. I just forget about it. What was that game called? It was like a video game of fucking, like Running Man. That wasn't even that game where you're just put in these fucking, like you're on a game show, you gotta kill shit to survive. And then after every level, you, everything you pick up, you stack up on top of it. You have these big-breasted blonde chicks. What was the name of that game? That game was nuts. I can only imagine what video games would be like if we didn't have the ESRB. Actually, I know what video games were before the ESRB came out. It's like video games were slowly crossing that line. And then Mortal Kombat was like, came out, and then they're like, oh, fuck this shit. American government and whatever was like, we need some regulation, man. These video games are getting out of control. Dang, what was it? What was the name of that game? Oh yeah, Smash TV. I think it was called Smash TV. Yeah, that game, I think it came out before Mortal Kombat or around the same time. But yeah, a lot of our fighting games and beat 'em ups were getting a lot more violent and kind of crass. It was like Mortal Kombat set a precedent. I remember this game called Time Killers where you can decapitate your opponent. You can chop off their arms and legs and still fight even though they were kind of nerfed. You can beat your opponent with their own arm and shit. Yeah, the early 90s, man. We had some games hitting the arcade, boy. Oh, you remember Time Killers? Yeah, that game. I remember the first time I saw that, I was at Raging Waters, which was like a water park. Was it Raging Waters? No, I think it was Manteca. When I went to Manteca Water Slides here in Cali. And it's like they had a little arcade, and I remember seeing Time Killers. I was like, what the fuck is this shit? Who was I using? I forgot. I like using, I think there was like a Viking character. Yeah, I was using the Viking guy when I first played that game. My other favorite arcade beat 'em up was Bad Dudes. I probably beat that game this year on my little Chinese emulation handheld. It was the arcade version too, and I was like, oh, it's like they released like a home version of it for the NES, but it wasn't the same. It wasn't as good as the arcade version. Yeah, Bad Dudes on Nintendo was ass. But it's like, that's what we had. It was like arcade tech at the time was pretty advanced. And it was like, it wasn't to the Super NES where we're kind of getting close to arcade ports. Oh no, this game is good though. This is legit beat 'em up. And I played a lot of beat 'em ups. I still play a lot of beat 'em ups to this day. Hey, it was fun playing with did I play? I don't know if it was you. No, I'll have to play with you and Mana next time in Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. Oh, your roommate was hyped when he wanted Bad Dudes? I was hyped too. And then I played it and I was like, nah, this game is not the same game. Not the same game at all. It was sort of like that with Ninja Gaiden. Because like I said, I played, like the arcade version was a completely different game. It was a beat 'em up. The arcade version of Ninja Gaiden was a beat 'em up. And when I got the home version, I was disappointed. But when I started playing it, I actually love the NES version of Ninja Gaiden. For a lot of people, the NES version is like their definitive version of Ninja Gaiden. Oh, you got the geckos for the TMNT? I haven't got them yet. Were they free or did you have to pay for them? Oh, I got a new subscriber. Your C, thanks for subscribing. Appreciate it. Spam these grenades, yo. Bushwhacker, he's an old time Punisher villain. I thought Bushwhacker was black. But I think I get him confused with this this other character. I think he was a villain for Luke Cage. I'll hit you with this bat. Get this work. Get this work. Get this grenade. Wow, one of the few times I went up against a boss and didn't get murdered the whole freaking night. Yeah, yeah, Bushmaster. Yeah, Bushmaster. You're right, Bushmaster. That's who it was. The Kingpin. Yeah, Ninja Gaiden on the NES was just, you had all the cinematics, you had, the game was fun, even though the game was difficult. It was, but when you're 13 years old with a lot of free time, you just had to remember the enemy patterns and you can get through the game. I remember I got all the way to the end and I spent like 2 hours trying to beat the final boss and then I just quit. So I made it all the way to the end, to the last boss of Ninja Gaiden, but I never beat the game. I didn't beat it. Got all the way to the end, but never beat the game. I was 13. I got that game for my 13th birthday. That's why it's so memorable. I might find a cartridge version of Yen. It was like, I don't know, just for, it was like this year my dad passed away, and I know him and my mom, I think we went to some kind of fancy restaurant on my 13th birthday, and I remember they handed me the bag, they gave me a birthday card, and they gave me the game, and it was one of my most memorable birthdays I ever had as a kid. You know, they taught me a life lesson. They were like, okay, you're at the age of 13, you know, all your sins, they're all on you now. They were like, Dad says like, yeah, you're at that age where you're becoming a man. So every decision you make is on you for the rest of your life. And I never forgot that. And that was the day I got Ninja Gaiden on my 13th birthday. I know for some cultures coming of age is the age of 15. But since I grew up a Christian in a Baptist Christian household, it's the age of 13 where they consider you not an adult in a sense, but in terms of you making decisions for yourself. You know, you can't, you know, the shit you do was on you. It wasn't on your parents. Even though by law you're still a minor, so things you did do kind of get your parents. But in the spiritual sense, all your decisions were on you at the age of 13. But yeah, I need to get a copy of that game just to have. That was one of my fondest memories with my parents, was my 13th birthday. It's like the first time I had cheesecake too. They felt I was old enough to have cheesecake for the first time. It was weird how I grew up as a kid. It was like, what we had access to came in stages. You know, you had to reach a certain age. So you never considered a coming of age. But it was like as a kid, I didn't eat my first Big Mac till I turned like 11. I was always getting Happy Meals. It was like you didn't get your first soda until you were like past the age of 10. Your parents wouldn't let you like touch or drink coffee until you were like your mid to late teens. You know, even when you went to movie theaters, you couldn't see a rated R movie without a parent. No, I don't think they brought that law until a little bit later. Oh, these guys are whooping my ass right now. Ugh. Ooh, I got an Uzi. You had your full drink when you were 4. No, well, I didn't have a full drink, but I know I was that generation where your parents thought it was funny, like your dad would give you like a sip of his beer when you were like 4 or 5 years old. Oh, you were smoking since 9? Yeah, you're definitely generation fucking X like me, man. It was like, yeah. I knew kids who were smoking at a young age. Dang, I gotta get all the cheese, get all the snacks, because I had no life. Dang, there was nothing left to drink. Damn. Oh yeah, I remember one time we had a discussion. You were telling me about your life. Yeah, you had it rough. You had a rough childhood. I don't know. I don't think I don't know. I had my childhood, I was fortunate. I can't say I was spoiled. I was fortunate because it's like my parents had me when they were in their late teens. You know what? I think my dad told me a story where he lost his V card when he was like before the age of 13. But yeah, back then, shoot. When you talk to people who are like our generation and older and the shit they went through at their young ages, shoot, it makes like younger generations kind of cringe. The trauma we went through, the bullshit we went through, and then it was like, but we're not pussies about it. We're like, yeah, we went through some shit. And they're like, but yeah, look what happened to you. All this shit happened to you. It's like, yeah. It's like, still, it was like, no excuse, you know, we still gotta move on in life. Oh my god, I'm just getting smoked right now. Just burning all the grenades. So she gives you shit about it. I remember one of my close female friends, she said at the age of 10 she was dating a guy who was what was over the age of 18. She said they never did anything sexual or anything, but they were a couple, but she was in the Philippines at the time. But it's like, even still, it's like, but then again, it's like, I had to ask her a question. I said, did you mature at an early age? She's like, what do you mean? I said, did you have boobs or anything when you're that age? She had to think about it. She's like, I don't know. She said, I'm not really busty to begin with. I was like, oh. But I remember when I grew up in the hood, we had some young girls under the age of like 13 who were overdeveloped, very well endowed for their age. I'm talking like double D's, like preteen girls who built like adult women in the hood back in the 80s and 90s. And then I know we had high levels of teenage pregnancy back in those days. But yeah, these dudes, like late teen dudes and early 20 dudes, were getting with these girls who were like basically kids. They weren't even teenagers, they were like preteens. Dude, I knew one girl, she was like 11 and like lived around the corner from me. Everybody thought she was like in her mid to late teens because she was pretty much boobs on a stick. Literally. And then I heard like maybe a good 5 months later she got pregnant, and then she had a kid. She had a kid at the age of 11. This fucker. Oh, that sucker blows up. Oh yeah, we had all that AIDS propaganda in the hood where I was, in East Palo Alto, California. Shoot, they were giving kids fucking condoms in 7th grade. They were handing like condoms like candy. during the AIDS epidemic in fucking middle schools. Which I can understand, because like I said, when you have a teen pregnancy problem, then you got kids fucking, so you definitely got to make sure they're having safe sex since nobody was stopping them. I don't know if we had comics. We just had it just seemed like every other week we had Planned Parenthood at the school giving speeches and shit. Man is afraid one of some lady's gonna come to him and say, "You lost daughter." Dang man, you really were a slut back in your day. Yeah, that's why I remember when that movie Kids came out. It was almost like a documentary movie. I don't really remember that movie Kids. I think it came out in the mid 90s, around 94, 95, probably 96, 97. I think that director or writer, he made like 2 other movies, and it had almost the same type of theme, just a bunch of minors having sex, doing drugs. And I think he got low-key canceled out of Hollywood because it just seemed like he was just promoting underage sex with all his movies. But man, that movie Kids was so controversial for this time. It was funny because he said the movie was like an AIDS awareness movie, and it was an AIDS awareness movie. Yep. First time Rosario Dawson. I forgot she was in that movie. There was also this other actress who got her start in that movie. Yeah, Chloe something. Yeah, you know what I'm talking about. Ow. Yeah. Yeah. But yeah, that movie Kids, it was an AIDS awareness movie. Yeah, it was like an AIDS awareness movie where the AIDS epidemic was kind of dying down, kinda. Yeah, Savigny, whatever her name was. Chloe Savigny. Yeah, she ended up... Yeah, the dude who was fucking HIV positive, like, banged her on the couch while she was asleep. She didn't know. It was funny because that dude, he was just trying to bang all the chicks. And then he got her, she fell asleep, and... Yeah, that movie... Oh, that was her brother? What the fuck? I don't know, I gotta watch that movie again. It'll probably be hard to find now. I don't know, I could probably find it on eBay. But, I don't know, I've been trying to get a lot of old school movies remastered on Blu-ray. I need to get a copy of Weird Science on Blu-ray. Bow down, motherfucker. Oh, he's just whipping out all the taekwondo kicks. Oh yeah, that's right. Yeah, he only messed with virgins, that's right. Dang, this fucking dude with the fucking flamethrower is annoying the shit out of me. You know what? That movie was suggested to me by a classmate as well. I was going to the Academy of Art College in San Francisco at the time, and so there was this one classmate that's all he talked about. You need to see this movie, kids. He was even quoting lines from the movie and all kinds of shit. And it was funny. It's like the first time I heard we were talking about kids. It was the first time that when the Street Fighter anime came out. So it was like that was the topic of conversation, was the Street Fighter anime and seeing Chun-Li's boobies in the shower scene and kids. Those were the only two movies we were talking about. It was Dynamite. Animal love. Yeah, we had our weirdos. We had our weirdos back in the day. Throw all the dynamite in this fucker. Oh, it's Jigsaw. I remember Jigsaw. Man, the Street Fighter anime, when that came out, the first animated movie, I remember we had a debate. It was like this. It was like the first anime that introduced the subs versus dub debate. Either watching a subtitled or watching the English dub. It was like, I know a lot of people complain about censorship these days, and that's because they grew up, like this younger generation. They grew up in an era where they didn't have censorship. But I remember in the early 90s, most of our video games from Japan and anime was censored before it got here. And it's like, you could buy, like, I know they had 2 versions of the English dub. It's like you can buy the Japanese subtitle and it would have the Chun-Li shower scene in it. And then they had the English dub, and you can get the more PG version of the Street Fighter movie without the Chun-Li nudity, and you could buy the one with the Chun-Li nudity. It's like even the hentai that got released here was censored in the 90s. Like hentai is like you're buying it for the naughtiness, and yet that shit was censored when you bought it. And it's like you got everybody tripping over censorship. It's like, I agree, I said, but it's almost like going back in time. I said, it's really going to be probably no different. It's like, I said, before the internet, we didn't know any better. And it wasn't until years later, or if you bought the import versions of the game or movie, that you find out they were censored. Yeah, the steam blocking the nipples. Yeah, it was like, then the Japanese version is like, you know, this crown go up, you get full boobage. And it was like, I think Capcom probably pulled the, you know, they were the ones who demanded that one because, you know, their IP was still new and they didn't want their IP to be known for that kind of content. But during the 90s, shoot, anime had no chill. That's one thing I like about 90s anime. It had no chill when it came to like sex and violence. Oh, you only heard about it on YouTube? Wow, I knew about it back then because the first time I saw it, I saw the Japanese, well, the English dub that was uncensored. And it's funny because the English one is the one that has the fucking Rob Zombie, whatever soundtrack. It has like all the American rock tracks on it. When you watch the Japanese subtitle, it doesn't have none of the American music. Oh, that was a nice little Azuna drop, but he died. There, I gotta grenade these chicks. He's throwing all the grenades. Oh, finally made it to Kingpin, but yeah, that fucking Chun-Li Vega fight in her bedroom was fucking epic. I remember like in Japan, I remember they showed like a video clip I don't know where I saw this clip from. I don't know if it was a documentary or some shit. I can't recall where I saw it from, where they showed like they were premiering the animated movie. And it's like in Japan, it's like you don't get no audience reaction until the movie ends, right? You know? And it's like so the Chun-Li scene plays and you hear like some oohs and ahs from the crowd. And then I know once the animated movie ended, then everybody like was standing up just clapping. It was like yeah, I would have to say the only bad thing about the movie was kind of like the fight was good, but the ending was kind of cheesy. But I don't know, that was the only way, you know, you can have so many different characters have a role in the film. I still like the English dub version better than the Japanese version, just to hear the voice acting, because the horrible voice acting just has a lot of charm. Dang, Kingpin just came out the sky and bitch slapped Punisher. Dang, why wasn't I able to use the gun? Oh. Dang, you got tossed like a salad. Ooh. Come on, let me grab you. This is how you cheese the game. You grab the people, you do the fucking whirly thing, because it gives you like some invincibility frames. That's why they keep sending you these minions. Grenade! Oh! Grenade ought to do it. There we go. Get out of here, Punisher. I mean, Kingpin. Look at that score. Isn't it awesome? Dang, I collected all the items. 55 items. One batch, two batch. Hey, there's Nick Fury when he was white. White Nick Fury. Kingpin. He's an interesting villain. He's a scumbag with a moral code to a certain extent. So I gotta beat the game with Nick Fury to get the medal. I remember one time I got a debate with a dude where I told him that Nick Fury is actually white. He just lost his shit on me. I thought that was funny. I was like, I had to actually post stuff off of Google. I was like, man, how old are you? He was like, what is that supposed to mean? I said, you're not old enough to remember. I said, do you actually read comic books? Yeah, they had Black Nick Fury. I said, have you ever wondered why that Black Nick Fury looked like Samuel L. Jackson before Samuel L. Jackson was casted to play Nick Fury? Because basically, what was it, Ultimate, in the Ultimate Universe of the comic book line, they actually drew the black version of Nick Fury. They modeled him after Samuel L. Jackson. The actor, his look and everything was modeled after Samuel L. Jackson. And so when they started casting the MCU movie, they was like, fuck it. And Samuel L. Jackson is a comic book fan, so he was all in. He was like, it's only fair that I play the character that you use my likeness for in the Ultimate line of the Marvel comic books. I believe it was Ultimate Avengers back in the early 2000s. Because they had Ultimate X-Men, Ultimate Spider-Man, Ultimate Avengers. But I think he wanted to, Samuel L. Jackson, he wanted to play a Marvel movie for like years. I remember in Wizard Magazine, the guy at the comics, they did an interview with him. No, I don't think Kingpin was originally African American. I don't know, I have to do my research on that. Because Kingpin, he been around since what? The 60s? The Silver Age of Marvel Comics? Because I think he was, I don't know, I think he debuted in the Spider-Man book. I don't know, I have to do my research on that one. But yeah, he's been a Spider-Man villain, he's been a Daredevil villain, he's been a Punisher villain. He's basically a non-superpowered villain. And so any like superhero that works on a city level had to bump into the Kingpin. You're going to interfere with all his bullshit, and that's why you got tied up with him. Like if you're working on a street level like Spider-Man and Luke Cage and Iron Fist and Daredevil and Punisher, if you're interfering with any criminal element, yeah, I could probably believe that. Because I know Marvel, I know a lot of people complain about, you know, how comics are being socially progressive. I would say during the 60s, there was also some social progression. You had a lot of black characters debuting, like Black Panther. You had, you know, between like the late 60s to the early 70s, you had Luke Cage, Misty Knight. You had Storm, which was like the first black character debut in the X-Men. So you had quite a few black characters popping up, you know, Black Lightning and DC Comics and things like that. But then again, it was like, I think also during that time, just black entertainment was cool. Because you had a lot of black movies, blaxploitation movies. You had Motown blowing up, you know, Motown music. Just, you know, in terms of pop culture, we had black athletes coming up in America. So America was just going black at the time. So it doesn't surprise me that, you know, black characters were really a lot of them were being created during like between the late 60s to like the mid 80s. After that, you didn't see too many black characters being created. There wasn't too many. It's like there were some, but not many were memorable. Let's see. What game do I want to go back to before I end the live stream? Actually, let's see like some of these galleries or whatever. Let me go back. Check out the museum. I know they got the music. The music on here is pretty good. Let's check out Marvel Superheroes Gallery. Yeah, man, I guess I had to hit some people in here with a brief history lesson. But man, all I know was this art coming up was so different and so cool. I was like, I'm a very visual person, so what got me into the Marvel vs. Capcom games was definitely the art style and things like that. I also think there was a comic book artist named Joe Madureira at the time. He emulated a lot of his art style from the Capcom artists. I think even Joe Madureira kind of admits that. He said he worked in comics, but he really wanted to do like video game concept art and do video game art. And he did. He ended up being the art director for the Battle Chasers game. And I think he did the art direction on the League of Legends role-playing game that I think is from his same studio who did Battle Chasers. But you can see a lot of Joe Mad's influences in this art style. This is not Joe Mad's art, but this is how his style was back in the late 90s, early 2000s. I forgot who was the artist who did the art for this one. But yeah, a lot of people wanted to emulate this art style. Even today, people try to emulate this art style. It was like, this is like a Japanese version of like Marvel, drawing the human figure the Marvel Comics way. Because you didn't see this kind of like figure work in a lot of Japanese stuff outside of like hardcore, like seinen, you know, Fifth of the North Star kind of like art back in the 90s. You didn't see too much of this kind of art style. But yeah, I remember that. That is Mark Bagley's Spider-Man, because I was reading Spider-Man at the time. And then you had I can name the artists. Jim Lee did that Magneto. I think that looks like a Del Keown Incredible Hulk. I think that's a Dan Panosian drawn Juggernaut. Oh really? He had a contest? Oh yeah, I think I heard about that contest. I think I heard about it on Facebook. That is an Andy Kubert drawn Psylocke. I think that's an Adam Kubert, the Kubert brothers drawn Wolverine. That's another Jim Lee drawn Captain America. That's off a cover. No, that's off the actual interior of the page of Uncanny X-Men 268. I'm a diehard X-Men nerd. I actually have that issue of X-Men. I don't know what the art of Iron Man was, and I don't know what the art for Blackheart was. But all the others, I know who the artists were and almost what comics they were from. Well, I don't know the Shuma-Gorath one, though. That looked like old school Avengers art, because he was like an old school, like Avengers enemy. I can't believe they put him in the game. Oh, if he won, he was supposed to feature. Did he feature the upcoming artist? Oh yeah, that's a Ron Lim drawn Thanos. I met Ron Lim. Actually, he's like a regular at a lot of NorCal, California conventions. I remember reading Ron Lim at SatCon, and I bought some stuff from him. He had like a King of Fighters illustration book I bought from him. I remember he was drawing Power Rangers, a Power Rangers comic book at the time. The art for that Doctor Doom looks familiar, but I can't recall the artist at this moment, but I do recognize that art style. I just can't remember the artist's name who drew that Doctor Doom. Man, it's like, I feel old looking at this shit. It's like, oh man, it's like the 90s was like my teenage and young adult years. Whenever you talk to people even older than me, it's like the prime of your life is your teenage and young adult years. That's like the prime of your life, between the age of like 12, I'll say no, 10 to probably 25, or for some people 21. Oh, you would love to go to San Diego, go to a Comic-Con? It was funny. I was in San Diego when they had it, but it was during COVID, like 2021 or 2022. Oh, your hero already passed away? Oh, Jack Kirby. I remember I got some shit when I said something about Jack Kirby. And I wasn't even trying to be insulting. I said I admire the man for his work ethic and the amount of work he put out. He was like a Akira Kurosawa, Toriyama. Yeah, Akira Toriyama. Before people knew who Akira Toriyama was, Jack Kirby was that dude. He did storyboards for a lot of American cartoons. He did so much commercial art in his career. It's like when he did work for Marvel, DC, Warner Brothers. He did so much work over his lifetime that it will never be duplicated. The amount of work that dude put out as an artist. And it sucks because artists got paid like shit during his time. That he had to constantly always work. He had to constantly always work to make a living, to pay basic bills. And then you see, like, when Image came out, you had Jim Lee, Rob Liefeld, And Tom McFarlane became millionaires overnight once they left Marvel and did their own shit. It was like Jack Kirby wasn't my childhood. He wasn't my generation. He was definitely probably the generation before mine. Because I was born in 1976. And like I said, I didn't get into comics until the mid to late 80s. And by then, he wasn't doing anything. He wasn't active at the time as far as doing work for Marvel or DC. I think he was doing like storyboards and some other shit. He wasn't really drawing comics. And then he did come back like in the 90s. He did some work for Image. He did some cover work. And I think he did try to do like his own comic for Image at one point, but I don't know what came out of it. But when you look at his sheer volume of work, he deserves respect in that regard. It was like, I remember, oh yeah, that's what got me in trouble. I compared Rob Liefeld to Jack Kirby. And that pissed so many people off. And I was like, I'm not talking about in volumes of work and cultural impact. I said, but in terms of like their exaggeration of the human figure, they're very similar. Jack Kirby couldn't draw feet either. It was like all his characters had huge man hands. All his character has similar body types, has similar faces. But with Jack Kirby, he had a very good sense for costuming and character design. Even though a lot of his facial features on his characters and women were the same, but as far as the design of the costumes and stuff like that, it was very creative. And the way that he drew machinery and his page layout and his dynamic figure work, yeah, blocky feet. Yeah, his stuff was very like square and blocky, Jack Kirby. And it's like, but in terms of character design, set pieces, and dynamic figure work, Kirby was ahead of the time, but that's what gave Marvel Comics its distinctive look. It's funny because with modern comics, it lacks that kind of energy, you know, that kind of dynamic artwork that, you know, from when Kirby up until probably, I would have to say the early, before 2010, comics were like that. It was all about exaggerated anatomy, posing, you know, dynamic figure work. But now it's like, I feel that I became a young adult in the wrong era. If I became a young adult, if I was a young adult now with my art skills, I would definitely enjoy this era a lot, because there's a lot of not as talented people, like artists, getting work from Marvel and DC right now. It was a lot harder to get into comics back then, a lot harder. You had that go through portfolio review by editors and professionals. They had to know, it was all about, can you draw me a story and tell a story? It didn't matter how good, you know, your whatever was, you know, how sexy you drawn a chick if you couldn't tell a story. And it's like, but I noticed we got a lot more illustrators, especially since people buy comics for the comic covers now. They don't care about the art in the comic book. It's all about the covers now. If I was in my 20s now, oh, I would love it, because I would just make a living just drawing covers. Because drawing covers, you're getting paid like $500 to $1,000 or $1,200 per cover. And it's like, but it's a lot less strenuous than drawing a full comic book. You're drawing like 32 pages in a month. That means you're sitting at your art table for like 8 to 16 hours a day trying to meet a deadline. It's like, I'd rather, you know, spend maybe 8 hours or 12 hours working on probably like 4 or 5 covers and be able to pay my rent, you know? But I know over COVID, there was this one Japanese illustrator called Peach Momoko. She's been like the talk of all the artists during like COVID. She was blowing up, you know, everybody was hyping up her covers and stuff. I saw her work. Some of it's good and some of it's meh. Some of it's kind of And now she's drawing Ultimate X-Men for Marvel. Marvel signed her up to, I don't know, a how many year contract. Ooh, that is a very ugly looking Spider-Man. Oh, that neck. Oh my God. I know it's just a sketch. Ooh, but oh man. But that was the thing back then. It's like it was like back then, even if your art was technically flawed, like this is on an anatomical level, if it just looked cool, you gotta pass. You gotta pass. If you drew dynamic figure, even like the case with Rob Liefeld, it's like I have to agree. Like his early work, he could actually draw like atomically accurate figures, but he said, you know, he wants to go with a more dynamic, you know, action-oriented style, with the style he was known for, and also the style he got shitted on by everybody because they say, oh, you can't draw feet and all your characters look the same and you put huge pouches and guns on all your figures. But you know what? He sold millions of comic books. he when he started his own company, Image, and created Youngblood, he made millions of dollars. He had a cartoon show. No, I think he had a cartoon pilot. He also created Deadpool. He created Cable. He created Domino. Rob Liefeld, like under the age of 25, was already a millionaire. So it's like people can hate on his art all you want, but he sold a lot of comic books. Yeah, you got that heavy black comic book style inking from back in the day. A lot of cross hatching. But yeah, you can tell these are initial sketches. You think anime artists are losing creativity? I think the funny thing when it comes to the anime industry is very similar to the manga or whatever. It's like once an art style becomes popular, it becomes a trend and a fad to where everybody wants to adopt that style. That's a pretty good looking style. I like her face. I like her face. There's still some body proportion issues with it, but that's a solid sketch. If I'm paying like $10 or $20 for like a quick sketch, I would be fine with that. With this, I would be fine with this, because I do buy like, you know, quick sketches from artists when I go to conventions. Yeah, I'm an artist who buy other people's art. It's like, you know what? You can't hate, you gotta appreciate. You know, you gotta help each other out. Yeah, you got still people who are fans of the 90s. I admit, like, the anime art style in the 90s was really, really good. It was edgy. You know, it was very kind of cyberpunky in a certain way. I don't know, Japan set a lot of cyberpunk visual tropes that even in the West we still use. It was like, even though cyberpunk was a Western concept, but Japan, when it came to anime, they took it and made it their own. And we end up adopting a lot of the Japanese visual, nature of cyberpunk. Oh, Crying Freeman, the artist of that guy, he is a master illustrator, because he also did the Psychic Girl, which was another good one. But Crying Freeman, I remember I went to, what was it? I was at, I think, my college bookstore, a Calvert College bookstore, and they had the manga. It was the first time I ever seen like illustrated sex, like actual sex in manga. It was like, granted, it was like sex, and they kind of like thinned out the line of, you know, the penetration scenes, but they didn't censor it. It was uncensored. But the art, like his figure work, the inking, the shadowing, what he used with his inks, even the action, the way he drew cars, the way he drew environments, that guy, he's a master illustrator, because that is a lot of work. And then the funny thing about Japanese artists, they draw on a smaller scale. Like American comic artists, they draw on 11 by 17 paper on a space of 10 by 15. But in Japan, they cut that by a third. So you're drawing on ultra small paper, but they still put out that high quality detail, which was ridiculous. But I tried drawing that small, like I could see how you can get hyper detail, but you gonna be straining your eyes hunching over that desk. But Japan, they were using digital tools like years before we were. I think they were using like Wacom tablets and digital coloring like a decade before it hit here, before it hit the States. They were using digital art before we were. Now that is a very well illustrated Shumagarath. The line weights, the ink weights is very good on that one. That's a pretty cool Magneto. I think the thing that sucks is like, as an artist, or as a concept artist working for like video games or animation studios, you don't get to put your name on the work. You don't put, it's like you don't know who the artist is until you look at the credits. But yeah, you can tell they did their homework. There's like, I tell a lot of people that some people, you know, kind of downplay the importance of artists, but artists, graphic designers, illustrators, art is in the majority of the products we buy. Whether it's carpentry, music, even the logos or lettering designs on packaging, that's all done by artists, from concept to design. And you can tell, look, they even have notes of how the detail, because they got to make sure that when they draw the pixels, that they have to get every detail. So when from front to back to side to certain angles, that everything is correct, that is accurate. Like I said, back then they had smaller budgets, but animators and artists were doing like 4 times the work. And you can tell in the quality of the games, the animation quality and everything was on a whole different level back in the day. See, look at that. They even had to lay out the backgrounds. And it's like, in order to do this type of work, you had to get a whole different artist. This is not the same artist. You had to get an artist who can do architecture design. They had to get a whole different artist to draw the backgrounds. Because even when I was in art school, it's like architecture art was a whole different side of art. It's like you can learn to do it on your own. You can learn about perspective and how to draw buildings using perspective lines and stuff. But in order to do the design, you had to have an understanding of architecture design. And that was a whole nother aspect, a whole nother dimension of art. Because you even had fashion illustrators, the people who design the clothes on the figures and stuff like that. I know the designer, the character designer for Bayonetta, she was a fashion illustrator. That was her background. That's why Bayonetta had a very long, slender, elongated figure. Because I took fashion illustration. I took a class, and the whole thing, you wanted the figure to look long and slender to make the clothes look better that you put on the figure. And that was her background. That's why Bayonetta looked the way she did, because she was from a fashion illustration background. But yeah, it's a lot of work. It's a lot of work. Let's see what they did with MVC2. I think most of these illustrations are from, you can unlock probably all these illustrations in the console version, but you had to spend points. But yeah, this artwork was so iconic of the era, especially with Capcom video games. It was funny. I remember I was posting my art on Facebook and people would give me flack for I would always draw my heads and faces from this angle, like a 3 3/4 angle. But I got that because I tried to emulate the artists from like Japan. It was like when they did their figure work, they never drew them like with their face looking dead at you. It was always at an angle from the side or a 3 3/4 angle. See, they all looking the same. all the poses are almost gonna look. The head's always gonna be at the same angle. And it was funny because I remember people were giving me shit about it when I was posting my art online. But a lot of artists do it, but they don't get shit about it. I wasn't good enough yet. That's what it was. But yeah, you can see the head is always at a certain angle. It's always at that 3 3/4 angle. But this was definitive art at the time. So it's like, I tell people, it's like, you know, ignore the haters. People are going to hate. They're going to try to, you know, lower your shine. They're going to detract you off your path of greatness. You know, you just got to ignore the haters and do what you do best. It's like, once you master what you do best. Now, granted, it's like, even though all his heads are almost facing all the same direction, but if you look at the detail of the costumes and everything, and the color work and the line work is on point. It's on point. The color is even solid. You got the lighting right. And it's like, you could be a one-trick pony artist, but if you master your one trick, you know, then you pretty much made it. You pretty much made it as an illustrator. That's a very cute Cammy. Ah, there's Mega Man. Mega Man. Roll. We got Tron Bond. Dude, they reproduced this art so many times on a lot of promotional material. Especially on magazines back in the day. This illustration made so many fucking video game magazine covers. Yeah, this was a good one. That was a really good pose right there. Sayato. There's Jill. Keep on forgetting she's in Marvel vs. Capcom 2. She was played a lot too when the game debuted. That Morrigan's way too skinny for my taste. There's a little cute Felicia. What's this chick's name again? Oh my god, what is her name? Got this chick's name. This little red. Oh, BB Hood. BB Hood, that's her name. Narcoris. We got Strider. That dude from Cyberbots, Captain Commando. Yep, we got Baby Bonnie Hood, BB Hood, that's right. Got some Cable, man. People didn't know who the fuck Cable was until this fucking game. No, don't get me wrong. It's like, if you're a comic book fan, you knew who Cable was. But normies didn't know who he was until this fucking game came out. He was so busted and so OP with his fucking laser attacks. It was like, that's what got a lot of people into Marvel vs. Capcom 2. It was just the absurdity and just the craziness of the high damaging moves. But Cable and Doom, man. Ugh. I hated it. I hated it early on. There's my Captain America. There's the Gambit. It was funny. It was like, when Gambit debuted, I know a lot of people loved him. I felt he was alright. I wasn't like geeked out over him. He was cool, but he just wasn't, I don't know. I could see the appeal, but at the same time, it's like, it's Gambit. Now, this was my character. I'm sorry. This is what kept me reading X-Men in the 90s. Granted, I was reading X-Men before her debut. Before that, who was I a fan of in X-Men? I think I just liked the whole team as a whole. I just liked the whole team dynamic and how they were a family. It was like reading your favorite superhero comic, soap opera, and fucking like action movie and romance all in the same comic book. That was X-Men during its peak. That's what made it, you know, really popular for like over 30 years until around 2014. Then it went to shit. There's Storm. Yeah, they put a lot of work into design and illustrations. I feel my only issues was hell no. I think they killed Morph like as soon as they debuted it back in like I think the late 60s comic book of X-Men. He wasn't like an original member. It's like, cause the crazy thing is I get in stupid arguments with people who like grew up on the cartoon show. Now, this is me being nice. I'll admit that the cartoon show has its own canon. I will give you that. The cartoon show does have its own canon, but the problem with the 90s cartoon is the 90s cartoon is backwards canon from the comic book. It took all the canon from the comic book and made it ass backwards. So you get into arguments with people who say they're X-Men fans, but they're not. They're cartoon X-Men fans. They're like, oh, the first X-Men were Cyclops, Jean Grey, Beast, Storm, Jubilee, Gambit, and Rogue. It's like, no. The first X-Men were Cyclops, Angel, Beast, Jean Grey. And who was the last one? Let's see. Beast, Angel, Cyclops, Jean Grey, Charles Xavier. Yeah, the show is the show, the comic is the comic, but you get those TV people who just want to argue with you. But it's like, nah, Jubilee wasn't even a sperm in anybody's sack when the original X-Men debuted. It's like, for me, the definitive X-Men team was the one that debuted in Giant Size X-Men, but Chris Claremont had the roster like change every like 3 or 4 years. Cause it's like when Giant Size X-Men dropped, you had, because the original X-Men they got left on the island of Krakoa. Because people forget that the X-Men got canceled after issue number 50 something, and then they were reprinting the comic book up to issue like 80 something or 90 something, and then they relaunched it with Giant Size X-Men number 1, and they continued with issue 93 going forward. And so when they reintroduced the X-Men, yeah, from the source material, yeah, movies and whatever deviated from the source material. And so when Wolverine debuted, it was when they relaunched the X-Men. It was Cyclops, Wolverine, Banshee, Storm, Colossus, Nightcrawler, and Sunfire. And Sunfire, he quit on the first day. Sunfire was the Japanese dude. He joined and quit on the same day. Oh yeah, Thunderbird. That's right, Thunderbird. I think he came a little bit later. No, he debuted, I think, in Giant Size. Did he? I don't know. And then I think Thunderbird died like 2 or 3 issues later. But he was Native American. You missed the old cards that had their strats and stuff. What you know about the Marvel Universe cards? Yeah, these illustrations were so iconic back in the day. To be honest, I would rather have, because Ruby Heart, her whole moveset was what's his name, Taliban from Darkstalkers. I would rather have Taliban, the werewolf guy, than this chick. I would rather have Taliban, the werewolf from Darkstalkers in Marvel vs. Capcom 2 than this chick, because she basically had his moveset, even though she has some different stuff with her fucking what do you call that thing, the anchor attacks or whatever. But as far as her little ball and going around the screen, that was Taliban from fucking the wolf guy from Darkstalkers. And then Mingo, I don't know where a Mingo came from, they just threw his ass in. A sombrero wearing cactus, that is the most Japanese thing ever. And then they fucking gender swap the Monkey King. I don't know, I think Sansan, it was based off an old Capcom game from the 80s. I think that's where she came from. Oh, Silver Surfer. I was wondering why Silver Surfer, I don't know, in the comics, like, I think in the late 80s, early 90s, Silver Surfer had a pretty good run. I think Ron Lim was drawing that as well. That's how Ron Lim got his claim to fame, was drawing Silver Surfer. I was like almost peak Silver Surfer. Oh, that's it for that one? Let's see. Yeah, see, they got rid of all the line work in this one, so it's just straight digital coloring. They got rid of all the cross-hatching. So it looks a lot cleaner than the Marvel vs. Capcom 2 art, but I think with Marvel vs. Capcom 2, they were going for a more grittier look. It's the same artist, same illustrator, but he took out all the cross-hatching and extra line work. Now this image, I see, man, this fucking illustration, I've seen so much over the internet over the years. They had posters and everything of this, card art. Yeah, this Morgan was better than the one he drew in Marvel vs. Capcom 2. You can tell, the funny thing about this artist is like, you can see us when we're developing, and then we'll hit our peak, and then we'll start to decline. Like, this is when this guy was at his peak, right here. This was his peak art. When Marvel vs. Capcom 2 was when he was starting to change his style, and he was slowly, don't get me wrong, Marvel vs. Capcom 2 was still good, but this is when he was at his peak. As you can see, the figure work is a lot more anatomically better, not as exaggerated as the Marvel vs. Capcom 2 art. I think with the Marvel vs. Capcom 2 art, he was more trying to produce a lot of work just to get it done. But on these pieces, they just taking their time. There was a lot, you don't see a lot of the heads go in the same direction. So these pieces were not rushed. All the piece head, you know, the head alignments is different. There's still that 3 3/4 pose, but it's not on like 80% of the drawings as it was in Marvel vs. Capcom 2. She lustfully got mad. She reminded her she's actually naked in the game. Well, that's her fur. Her fur covers her naughty bits. So yeah, you can say technically she's naked. She just has strategically placed fur to cover up her naughty bits. Yeah, this illustration work. Okay, there's the line work. But that's like his rough illustrations. Those are some good sketches though. This is my girl, Psylocke. Yep, covered in her hair, yep. Then you got the side profile art. Yeah, he was probably ordered to draw this stuff. Oh, what's the name of this game? I remember this. He was like a soldier from this side-scrolling like shooter slash beat 'em up. No, there's what's his name from Ghosts and Goblins. There's Anita. It's weird as a young teen. It's like all the artists, even today, like artists of my generation, they want to draw like these like dudes with all these exaggerated proportions and dynamic body angles and styles. Me, I was never about that. I just wanted to draw hot chicks and pinup art. Yeah, Arthur, that's his name. Don't get me wrong, this is fun to draw in this style. And if you can make it dynamic enough, and if your line work is on point and you have solid figure work, you can make this style work for you. But you have to master the basics first to make it come off as looking good, and the work doesn't look like a hot mess. You got to master the basics. I remember seeing this chilling. I think the guy who did the art on this also did the design for Rival Schools. Yeah, that's right. He also did the illustration work for Rival Schools. Oh yeah, this one. Yeah, this one. I think they cleaned this one up, this sketch up, and this one became like a poster and things like that. Yeah, I seen this Strider one a lot back in the day. This Mega Man one. Yeah, see, I don't know what kind of pose that is. I don't know where the rest of Wolverine went. I see a leg coming out from somewhere. I don't know where the rest of his body went. Yeah. And I think what sucks, you had quite a few young artists, even older artists of my generation today, who figure as long as it looks cool, you know, anatomy and whatever else can go out the window as long as it looks cool. And that's the case with this. It looks cool, but where's the rest of his body? Where's that leg coming from? It's like I know, right? It's like his whole body is coming out that leg. I remember I pissed off one dude where he drew like a hyper-dynamic posing Spider-Man, and I'm like, where's Spider-Man's pelvis? He has no hips. He got legs coming out where his testicles should be. And man, I told him that, and he trolled me and stalked me on my account for like 4 years. I think I discussed it in one of my other videos on here where I was getting stalked. I would block him. He would create another account just to troll me on my page. Just because I don't know, maybe I was being a dick about it when I said it, but it was the most, what the fuck kind of bullshit did you just draw? I was like, because like I said, I took figure art hours, like hundreds of hours of figure art classes. I had like 2 anatomy classes, and my teachers were hard asses when it came to anatomy, when it came to shadowing and proportions. It was beat into me as an artist.